Hey guys, it's Max Convesti. How's everyone doing? Hope everyone's having a great day. Kind of a windy, blustery day here in Austin. Still trying to learn how to use all this technology. All right, guys. Hey, let's do an end of the week wrap up. Let's look at the old. Well, let's start here with the buffer report. We have the agenda running across the bottom of the screen so I don't forget and get sidetracked. We're going to start on the buffer report. Then we're going to look at stock charts. After that, we're going to be looking at spreadsheet. And after that, I'll be declaring the ETF of the week. And then you guys can ask me a question. So put them in the comments if you have any questions. So that's the game plan, and we're going to stay on topic here, okay? All right, so let's check this out. Why don't we? Let's check out the old buffer report. Okay. This is the weekly buffer report. So this is from last Friday's close to this Friday's close, Friday to Friday. Okay, these are all the single names. Okay. I mean, everyone's doing what I would expect. We have some outperformance from YMAG, some outperformance from IQQQ. You know, Alti had a hell of a week, right? We don't want to talk about YBTC and Maxi, and that's fine for now. But lots of good performance here. Lots of good performance. Now let's look at the single names and look at the buffer report. But even the ones that didn't outperform did what you would expect. ShepQ got 2.63%, where the NASDAQ got 2.9. I mean, that's like 90% upside. We'll take that all day long. Triple QI appears to have got about maybe 2/3, a little more than half. Now, JEPI on the week not have a good week for whatever reason. SPY-T actually outperformed on the upside. I know Tom McGee is going to be happy to see that, and he already knows that. He follows SPY-T. He follows SPY-T as closely as I follow Triple QI and the other ones. I would have followed SPY-T that close if it was around when I got into this. It was just the Triple QI, IWMY, and SPY or in JEPY were the best ones around to start following at the time I got into it. But I love SPY-T. SPY-T is what they did is they took what was wrong with JEPY, which wasn't very much. They was wrong with JEPY, and they fixed it partially. There's no total fix for it, right? Anytime you're selling premium, you're getting something early. You're going to give up something on the back end. That's just kind of the way it goes. But anyway, like I say, this station is about trying to make it where we give up as little as we can. Where we make the best, informed choice we can about our ETFs. All right, and about our investments in general. All right, so let's look at the single names. Okay. I wonder if the banner's making it where you guys can't see that. I bet it is. See this? I'm new to this TV business, but don't you guys like how I got that banner running across? So I keep myself. I'm trying to keep myself on topic and stuff, and so it always has the agenda running across. But I don't know because I can't look at it at the same time. Anyway. I hope it's not messing up you guys' experience. Anyway, if it is, whatever. We'll fix it next time, right? Okay. So at least you can see the ones on the upside, even if it's blocking the names. Look at that. Tesla, my gosh. Should I make Tesla the ETF of the week? I mean, I'm tempted to. I'm really tempted to. Anyway, who knows? I don't know. I am an independent journalist, so I'm going to be totally independent. I don't take money from any of these funds or anything. No, I don't know. I just don't want to. I don't think I'm going to pick Tesla. Tesla's going to have other chances to be fund of the week. We'll see. But I mean, Tesla did have a hell of a week. Look at TSLP getting 15.4% upside. I mean, well, TSLP got 15.4, where Tesla got 18.4. I mean, TSLP almost got more than TSLY, and that's saying something, because TSLY is an upside beast with those weekly options. TSLP is taking considerably less amount of risk, in my opinion, with the monthlies. And they do get about half the dividend's about half the price. So I guess that's where, you get it, where it comes out at. But anyway, just lots of good weeks here. You got to look at NVIDIA getting more than half the upside. Look at Coney outperforming. Look at OARC outperforming. ULTY outperforming. I mean, it was a good week. All right, so let's take a little bit longer perspective. Let's go back to 1 day change. That doesn't even really mean that much to me. So here's the month of April. So for the month of April, we still have some work to do, or some of these have still pulled back pretty far. But that is what it is. Hopefully by the end of next week, this chart looked a lot worse a few days ago, or a week ago on last weekend update. All right. Well, the last weekend we didn't have these fancy new graphics and the banners and stuff. Watch this. I can also do this. Oh, yeah. I can also just put the name of the show. I was trying to, if it had a name of the show, that's kind of stupid. I could go like this. I thought about doing this whenever I was talking about the buffer report to keep me on track. And then next I'm going to show stock charts so that I can put stock charts in. But I decided that'd be too much to keep track of. I decided just to put the agenda down here. Anyway, let me know if you guys like it. I'm just trying to keep on track a little better. Okay, well, speaking of stock charts, let's look at some stock charts. Let's do this. We're going to zoom out. This is a week. These are weekly bars. So if you let's look at this week and really look at this. This week, just compared to last week, is totally inside last week's range on Russell. That's just a sign of congestion, or that's, it's called an inside week. Generally, the next week you try to play the break of it, but you watch for fakes. Now let's zoom down on Russell to days and see what the days are saying. Now on the days, to me, it looks like the Russell broke down for the first time in since January, pretty much. It's been going pretty much straight up, or since February, March, anyway. And then it broke down starting, in April 11th, 12th, boom, started breaking 13th. Yeah, well, there wasn't a 13th, Friday the 13th, 15th. In any event, it looks to me kind of like in this time frame, it was maybe just checking back to the midpoint, but in this time frame, it still looks pretty bearish because the primary trend is still down, at least until we can get on the other side of the 20 EMA, which is also the center Bollinger Band. All right, so now let's do the same thing with the other two indexes real quick. Let's go out to in. Let's go weekly on the SPX. No. All right, so here we are. Weekly SPX is the same thing. It was inside week. So compared to last week, it was a smaller range, which it isn't a good sign. It isn't a bad sign. It just is a sign. I'm trying to find another week that did that, where it made an inside week. It's not all that common. This week was an inside week from that and then you play that. You're supposed to, it's sign of congestion, so you're supposed to go with the break, So if you would have shorted the next week, and that did, when that broke out, the direction it broke out of that congestion was the next trend. Doesn't mean that works every time, but that's generally what you're looking for after an inside week, is a break of congestion. Sometimes you get 2 inside weeks or 3 inside weeks. There's even trading systems that do inside days, that look at inside daily bars, and there's something called NR7. NR stands for narrow range. That means where the bar has a narrower range than the day before, which is what we're talking about right now. And NR7 means it's the narrowest in the last 7 occurrences, the last 7 bars. You can do it in different time frames. People have had good luck or good results with that system. I bought a real expensive book in the early 90s on that system. It was like $200. Oh my gosh, I remember that. These guys back tested narrow range 4, narrow range 5, narrow range 6. But the longer market's in congestion, the more profitable it is to play the break of it. Is generally the TLDR of it. The narrow range system is just trying to, make a way to quantify chop or whatever. So that's one way to look at it. We haven't had much occurrences, much narrow range days in the daily bars at all, if any. The daily bars have been trending. We've been having days where it's a lower low and a lower high, or a higher high and a higher low, where both ends are taken out. Both the high and the low are taken out in the same direction. We haven't had many, and much of anything else. All right. So I would say next week, this 15 level is key. Need to get above the 20 EMA. I'm sure my tactical stock scalper would agree with me, but I don't really look at the 20 EMA, look at Bollinger Bands, and I use exponential Bollinger Bands. So the middle Bollinger Band is the 20 EMA, and it's a 1.6 standard deviation. So in any event, okay. So that's it for that. Let's look at NASDAQ, and then we'll look at the individual stocks real quick, and then we'll look at Bitcoin. And then after that, I'm going to answer your questions. We'll take a viewer question or two. Okay, so, well, this display right here, this box right here is a profit box I haven't told you guys about yet. That's the profit box for the fund of the week. So that's my hint. Let's see if you guys can guess what the fund of the week is. All right. The ETF of the week has already been picked. I'm not going to give it to you guys till the end of the show because I want you guys to stick around, right? All right. I mean, this is some engaging content, right? Come on. All right. In any event, NASDAQ bounced back up to the 20 EMA. Primary trend is still, you got to go with the breakdown. It broke down and accelerated. We'll see though if it can get on the other side of this 20 EMA and get some momentum up. It looks like this is over. In any event, all right. So let's look over here at Tesla. Thank you guys for leaving comments. I see the comments. I see the comments. I appreciate them. I'll answer them at the end of the show. I'm just trying not to get sidetracked. Okay. Okay, now Tesla looks a lot, well, let's see here. Yeah, Tesla looks way stronger than the indexes because Tesla easily took back its middle Bollinger, which is the 20 EMA. Easily, it closed Thursday above it and Friday above it. So nice job, guys. Check out Coinbase. I kind of like looking at daily bars instead of those stupid 30-minute bars. 30-minute bars are fine during the week, but we'll just we'll do dailies. We'll do dailies and weeklies on the weekend. Kind of zoom out and get bigger perspective. This one right here, just if you want some analysis, no one asked for it, but right here, this breakdown right there. And then this confirmation bar, gave a pretty bearish trending sell signal, but it didn't really materialize. Nothing. They never got any momentum. No one was interested in it. So lots of times when that happens, just my guess, it's going to be the big move is this way. Like in a week, it'll be up here, or 2 weeks. That usually, we'll see. It could also hit this middle Bollinger Band and just totally crap on itself. I mean, we'll see. Let me know what you guys think, but I think that was a pretty solid rejection of lower prices there. While we're on Coinbase, let's just pull up a Bitcoin chart because it's related. A daily Bitcoin chart. Now, Bitcoin, if Bitcoin's a leading asset, it's already failed at its 20 EMA. So that goes against my rosy scenario that I just invented. So anyway, right there, this is showing us Bitcoin still under pressure. Who knows? Is coin leading Bitcoin? Is Bitcoin leading coin? I tend to think probably Bitcoin's leading coin. All right, well, let's get a second opinion for Misty or Mr. or whatever you want to call it. It's one and the same. I don't see why people that don't have these yield funds are all in pretty decent companies, or decent's the wrong word, but good growth companies. So these high yield funds are kind of risky themselves. But I mean, if you have enough money to invest in high yield funds, throw a little bit in the underlying itself. And I know a lot of people are. Buy a few shares of Tesla, not just Tesla. Because when Tesla does it, it'll go 10x in a 2 year time frame. When it goes, it's at 200 now in 2 years, or for whenever it'll be at 2,000 or something. Everyone will go, "Well, I should have bought it." I mean, it'll be too late. I mean, so these yield funds are great because they're on super volatile companies. But get some of the underlying too, participate in the growth, or just own index funds. That I guess that works too. These big companies are the indexes anymore. All right, so now, yeah, MicroStrategy is weaker in the sense than either of the two of the other ones because it hasn't even got to its middle Bollinger Band yet. So, the charts aren't as bullish as my little scenarios are in my head. What else should we look at? Let's look at NVIDIA. It's kind of nice looking at the profit boxes on the week or on the daily bars, and you get a little more perspective without me having to zoom. And the Bollinger Band at the same time, you can see the way they just bump the profit boxes up above price, and then price comes down, the profit boxes bump down with them. It's all math. It's not. They aren't choosing these strikes. I promise you. These strikes are chosen by the Black-Scholes model. They know what kind of decay they're trying to earn, and you can measure it in theta. You can measure it all kinds of different ways, but it's all math. Whenever in times whenever the volatility of the company they're trading is super compressed, they sell options that appear to be right at the money or like 1% away. But in other times, like pre-earnings, they sell options that are 10% out of the money. It's all math. I really don't think they make conscious choices, and they're trading these to the degree that everyone thinks they are. That's just my opinion. All right, so let's see. Let's look at oil, I guess. I mean, what else is important? Let's look at oil. Let's look at dollar. Let's look at bonds. Okay, I mean, there's not really much you can say about that chart. Let's look at TLT. Of course, this is what Tress trades. Okay, now in the daily time frame, it has definitely been bearish. I mean, we had a breakdown and a confirmation, granted with the retest, but it's in the daily time frame, it is moving down. Now, can it move down fast enough to get outside of the valley of death? The thing about the way option premiums work, though, is the market maker see which way it's moving, or the law of averages sees which way it's moving, and the options reprice continuously too. And it seems like the profit box moves too, unless you can have a shock, So in any event, though, that's what this fund is for a shock. So we'll see. All right, so that's it for charts. So what's our next topic after charts? See, I forgot, but now I can check, and I don't have any excuse to be disorganized or You know, lots of times I come in here and I have other stuff in my mind and I'm just trying to get something done before I want to take Jax to the park or something. That's not an excuse, but that's what happens. Oh, the Defiant spreadsheet. Okay, well, the spreadsheet's the worst part. But I mean, let's look real quick. Let's see about the divvy estimates. Now, I'm going to have my official guesstimate estimate show really soon. Probably, I think retires is tomorrow night, so mine will probably be Monday night. I think declaration day is Tuesday, so it'll probably be or Monday, maybe Monday morning even, or probably right after retires. He has to do his on the weekend because he's working on Monday, I think. In any event, it'll be coming up. I will check all these figures because I know that seems ridiculous. That seems ridiculous. It's on JEPY. Wouldn't that be great? I mean, this is a badass fund. Let's look at this real quick. Let's look at these extrinsic numbers. Okay. Let's see if this seems like it makes sense to us. I mean, these are some pretty high extrinsic numbers. Let's just count how many. Well, maybe it is. Let's count how many over 10 that's over 10. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I mean over 10 that you can see in the first little thing there. All right, so that's 8. So I'm going to go to the previous month. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. You only had 4. We have had a lot of big, but look at that. But then that month we had a run of them right there. So, oh, that's extrinsic. My bad. Okay, on extrinsic. Okay, well, what? Yeah, okay, so look at these over 10 right here. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 on the ones we could see. Okay, then I'm going to scroll up to the month 4. Remember to look at extrinsic this time. You know, none. So yeah, this has been a huge month for capture. Do not anyone go buy this because of that. Because maybe these guys will do the right thing and just pay the same thing as last month. I'm sure you guys will be fine with 55 cents again and take the 24 cents, or, you know, instead of paying the 74 cents, especially since they don't have a real profit. I mean, I know you guys will be fine with that. Because you know, they're staring at a 59-cent accounting, you know, loss, real loss, operating loss. You got. This is like running a hotel, and you know, yeah. So the hotel brings in. The hotel has 100 rooms, and each room's 100 a night. So it brings in whatever that is. So that's the hotel's income. Okay, like saying these funds, these options, whatever they sell the options for, that's their income. Now, the hotel doesn't get to hold on to all that money. Some people trash the room. A bunch of other stuff happens. It's kind of what options is like. It's kind of a business like a hotel. So, but it is a kind of a unique business model where they pay you money they haven't exactly made yet. I mean, I get it. I just think I think the reason they can do that is because of the way that options, when you're a seller, they're in your favor, and you can do stuff like that without getting in trouble. Because I don't know, that's my theory. I'll see what you guys think. But in any event, 74 cents is crazy. So Tom had a theory on SPY-T. I'm sure Tom's on here. I'll go. Well, anyway, but Tom tracks it, and he says they made enough money to pay the 20% plus a little bit, and so they'll get to defend some of their NAV. And hopefully it'll go through to the price. It should go through to the price. The market makers and other people keep spreadsheets too. Whenever they make good option trades and do stuff like that, it should go through to the price. Okay. So this one's $1.05 on IWMY, which would be perfect. That's right in line with last month. I mean, I think everyone would be happy with that, right? But yeah, if these were my funds, if this is my trading company and I was the head trader and I had you guys' money, I'd do the same strategy. This is a great strategy, but we just adjust the payout. I do covered calls, but we would keep in any month that we lost money, guess what? No payments. No one gets a dividend. If the fund loses money, but you don't owe money. You don't get a dividend. Okay. But then in months when the fund does make money, which it does, statistically about 60% of the time. So 60% of those months when it makes money, pay the people the extrinsic capture or whatever. But in any event, if you didn't pay during the down months, and you could use all the money that you didn't capture to go towards the NAV and try to make it a fund that because of that, it defended the NAV more. So, but because of that, it couldn't pay as much. You wouldn't earn 60%. But anyway, whatever, because it'd be a different pay schedule, and it wouldn't be able to, you wouldn't get as much in your pocket because it would go because you wouldn't get paid on months when it was down. Or somehow I would figure it out, have an actuary figure it out, maybe pay the same every month, but make it in essence where you don't get paid losing months, even if you get a payment. Anyway, you guys know what I mean. Would you guys buy into that fund? I mean, I don't know. It probably not. It's probably a stupid idea. All right. Let's see what kind of comments I got here. Norman, thanks for being here. Kooky, thanks for being here. Any idea why Theta paid only 1 cent distribution? I have no idea. I don't know that much about that fund. I don't know. Maybe someone in here can answer that. I don't know. What's up, SCSU? Michael, good to see you as always from the Philippines. What time is it over there? It's present nighttime. Yeah, it's probably nighttime, right? Probably the middle of the night. Brad, good to see you too. Tesla, great example of buy the rumor. Yeah, I mean, or it's another Tesla that once the smart guys already know, all the smart money knows everything to know. By the time you know something, you, Brad, me, Mike, Norman, it filters down to the retail level. It's already been, it's already known, the funds have already adjusted. So yeah, I mean, that's how you get, all right, let's see. Norman, I worried a little bit because it says Max Exhibit 12, and I thought I messed something up. But anyway, no, I didn't. Norman's commenting on a video I made. Yeah, that 23-month income is fantastic. While I got you guys here, I want to say there's a caveat, a distinction that I wanted to talk about that I thought was too in the weeds to get into in that video. But just real quick, Norman, while I got you here, and Thomas, because I know Tom cares about this kind of stuff too. Those funds were comparing with notice it said S&P 500. So it compares that, it's comparing with the price of the SPX. I bet you they didn't beat the SPY, because the SPY is a total return fund. What do we know about total return? Thanks to Max's law, N equals R plus D. Total return equals NAV return plus dividend return. The SPY doesn't pay that much at 1.5%, 2%, but you compound that over years. And I bet you that those did not perform as well comparatively. They may have even trailed a little bit. But anyway, it's still a damn impressive. I mean, that's the power of covered calls there. And there's multiple. I didn't cherry pick. There's multiple good, back tests. But I referenced it was trying to. Okay, I thought it was only fair that I mentioned that. So and I almost thought about looking up the SPY's return over the same time frame, and maybe I'll do that in a future video. It's a lot of work for not that, But anyway, I don't know. I'd be anxious to know what you guys think on that. Yeah, it is nice. SPY T will pay less than they earn. I think I mentioned you, Thomas, I mention you all the time. Anyway, yeah, it is nice. Or I use you for a reference. I use your voice for an authority. Just like there's that guy, Reaching Riches. I don't know if Reaching Riches is on here, but he knows everything about those weekly payers. But those funds seem to kind of underperform. Check this out. Those, and I'm not talking shit on them, those Round Hill funds. Let's look at these real quick. This is a little bonus content on the Buffer Report. Oh, and I haven't told you the fund of the week yet. Okay, and you guys are around, and I want to make sure that I'm not going to announce the fund of the week until I get 20 likes. So hit that like button. I don't even know how to check how many likes I got. So you guys could be giving me thumbs down for all I know. I'm just giving you a hard time. All right, but anyway, seriously, I've wondered if the weekly payers have a problem, because in shorter time frames they almost always seem to underperform. I thought maybe they have a wide bid-ask spread. And so my little system that's automated, it's picking up a price, but it's not really a good price. It's not the price you'd actually pay in real life, because you know what I'm saying? So that could be it. So anyway, I'll reserve judgment, but I'd like to hear Reaching Riches. But you know, here it is. So this is single day. There's lots of days though. Well, I mean, there's lots of days this is a pretty good day. QDT performed pretty well. And XDT did too. There's lots of days that QDT is one of the worst underperformers on the chart for whatever reason. Anyway, we'll keep an eye on it, but it's doing fine now. You know, on the single day chart, everything did great. And look, just on a single day basis, look at SPY-T. That one, that's for Tom there, 1.71% versus, you know, that's incredible. Got that upside power on that one. But anyway, it's important to step back and look at, you know, and look for all of April. This is how you make money in the longer time frames, not the shorter time frames, but it's fun to look at the shorter time frames. All right, guys. So are you guys ready? Well, I wonder if I should do the fund of the week first, or if I should answer questions. Yeah, I think you can. You can depend on covered calls for income, Norman, with the caveat. You have to have enough wherewithal to be able to, I mean, I'm talking before these ETFs came out. In the old days, you had to have a pretty decent sized account because you had to have enough wherewithal to be able to roll your options out and to have a lot of shares. Also, if something goes against you and you want to double down, if you're the kind of trader that likes to add into dips, you know, if you don't have $1 million account, that's hard to do. They take care of all that for you now. Just get ULTY and they do all that for you. Or YMAG or YMAX or FEPI, or there's so many good ones. Triple QY is a great, JEPY is a great one. It's up like 10% since inception. It's only 6 months old, but I mean, I take 20% a year. JEPY, I mean, it's beating JEPI. I mean, I know it's only 6 months. Anyway, all right, what's going on? Lost audio? Really? Lost audio? Can you guys hear me? Oh, it's back up now. Okay. All right. Well, can we look at QDT? Okay. Well, we can look at it to the extent, to the information that I have about it. I don't have a whole lot of information about it, but yes, let's see what I do have about it. Let's audit my information. So this right here is my database. Okay. So on the left-hand side, I have the indexes right there. I have QDT, then right there I have their underline was NDX. I have their most recent price at 43, and I have the most recent NASDAQ price at 17.7. But then on the 5-day price, I have them at 42.73, and the NASDAQ at 72. So QDT is up 1% on the week, where the NASDAQ's up 2.9%. And I look at it in other time frames too, but let's look here. Oh, it's down here. Okay, yeah. Well, yeah, QDT. Okay, so nothing wrong with it, but just if you look at it stacked up against the other ones, actually it's right in line, isn't it? It's actually doing a little better. I was kind of ragging on it. This is over the course of a week. It did better than the IVVW. That's the new iShares, you know, S&P 500, JEPI clone, monthly covered call, 12% payer, 9% payer. Anyway, then IWMY is a badass fund, as we all know, but it's QDT is doing as well as it is. QDT is beating JEPY by a little bit, and SPY-I, which we all love. Everybody loves SPY-I. FEPI, everybody loves FEPI. SVOL, you know, and I don't even rag about it because SVOL is so consistent and stuff, but sometimes they, you know, they have a bad week or whatever. That's fine. That's fine. All right. So for the fund of the week, I could either choose it from the indexes or from the single names. So I'm going to say I want to say ULTY, but I'm not going to, because that one's going to be down that much or more next week. That one's just one that's just going to be always going to be up most or down the most. And that's fine. But no, I'm really impressed with IQQQ. All right. And that's a new one. I'm going to be having a review coming out on it soon, or it's newer. I haven't had a review on it. But look at that. They outperformed the underlying, which was the NASDAQ. You look at the other funds in the same class, like JEPQ and QQY and all of them. None of them could keep up with IQQQ. So whatever those guys are doing, it's good. Now, granted, YMAG did well, and there's some other ones. I thought about making ULTY or YMAG, but in any event, IQQQ is new fund of the week, and be watching for a review. The review will be coming out most likely tomorrow or Monday, because it's a good fund. All right. So we got a little cross promotional tie-in there. All right. I don't know. Top three. I didn't really plan it out. But I liked IQQQ. I mean, I was just going to notice that. So the top three is ULTY, IQQQ, and YMAG. Just the top three performers. I would just go with the top three index performers. None of the single names really stood out. I mean, yeah. So if the top three was in ULTY, IQQQ, YMAG, and IQQQ was the winner. Who knows? I mean, but anyway, but yeah, if we look over here at the single names, I mean, it's tempting to give it to Tesla too. It is, but there'll be other months. Tesla will be the fund of the month. I don't know. I'll probably, or the fund of the week. Tesla might be the fund of the month. Remember, the fund of the month show is coming up on Tuesday. Tuesday's the last day of the month. So, maybe I am planning ahead or something. Who knows? You never know. It's certainly, I'll tell you what's not going to be the fund of the month is Fibby. Doesn't look like it anyway. I'll take suggestions, though. You guys can make suggestions. Yeah, I'll do a review on IQQQ. I hadn't looked into that much either, but on the whole list over the course of a week, and I checked. I don't think they had a dividend. I mean, I checked to make sure I didn't have an obvious data error, and they paid a dividend. They were ex-dividend or something. Anyway, it looks legit. I'll confirm all of it. But anyway, we have a new fund of the week every week. And also, I didn't want to pick ULTY because everyone thinks I'm such a J, homer and fanboy, and I kind of am. And well, I mean, not really. I mean, you guys would be surprised. I'm critical of him all the time in my private life. I mean, I'm not anyway. All right, share the screen. Was I not sharing the screen that whole time? Oh my gosh, you got to be kidding me. Oh my gosh, you got to be kidding me. Was I not sharing the screen on the buffer report that whole time? All right. Well, all I was saying is I was tempted to make Tesla the fund, because it was doing well, but then really you got to look at ULTY. Look at IQQQ outperforming. It could have been YMAG, IQQQ, or ULTY. Those were the big performers that stand out to me over the course of the week. And really, I mean, there's some single names that did well, but nothing. So you guys could see at that time, right? All right. Hopefully you could see at that time. What's the top three? Anyway, sorry about that. If I wasn't sharing the screen, I'm terrible about that. I just need to hit share the entire screen, and then you guys can see whatever I see, right? For better or worse. That's what I thought I was doing. Okay, this right here, I was going to tell you, is the IQQQ option position. So what IQQQ does is they sell a daily put. So is that right? Or is it a covered call? No, I'm trying to think. I've looked at so many funds today. In any event, whatever they sell, it is a covered call, and they do it through ELNs and stuff, but their covered call is so far out of the money. It comes to 1.9%. I bet that their program is they sell 2% out of the money. In any event, that means that these funds, that's why this fund is doing so well on big up days or when it's in a good month, because this IQQQ, and I haven't done a full report on it yet. I just went and looked at their positions for Monday, And for Monday, they have the 18025 option sold. So check this out. And I think I told you guys about it earlier, but I said this is the profit box for the fund of the week. I was kind of hinting at it, and that's it, the 18025. Okay. So look at all that, and that's just over the course of a day. To make it to scale, hang on here. We'll go like this. Wednesday, Tuesday. We'll just go like that. That's even too long. That goes out to Wednesday. It's a one-day option, so it can appreciate that much. I mean, which is a ton. So a fund like this will catch a ton of upside, but these options that are way out of the money don't pay a lot of money. Now, these guys, I think, do it through swaps or equity-linked notes with a bank note with the counterparty on the other side that we can't see, just like SPY, I think, or just like iSpy. I think it's just like iSpy. That's what it is. In any event, it's interesting, and I'm going to do a more in-depth review on it, and we're gonna darn sure keep an eye on it. So hopefully you guys were seeing that. Was I sharing that screen? Okay, good. Okay. Anyway, I wish there was, gosh darn it. Why am I mean, other than breaking it into a separate window, I guess that's what I need to do. Just break it down into a separate occurrence of the browser and keep it in one, and then I can look at, I don't know. In any event, man, I'm sorry about that. All the times I forget to do that. All right, guys. Well, I appreciate all you guys. If you guys don't have any questions, we'll get out of here, and I'll get to work on that IQQQ. I have so much stuff coming out. I have a list of stuff. I'll add IQQQ to it, but hopefully within a day or two, we'll have a review on that. Yeah, and I have two screens inside. I just don't like to sit inside. I have one of those MacBook, they're called like, oh, that's not a MacBook. It's like, it was state of the art in 2012, but like a 30-inch, like a TV. It looks like a TV monitor, but state of the art back then, probably cost $1,500 or $2,000. Anyway, but it was free on Facebook Marketplace. And my neighbor saw it, and she got it, but it's so big and heavy and stuff, and it's badass. It's Apple, and it's badass. It's too big for her office. She said, "Do you want it?" I said, "Hell yeah!" So I plugged it in. When I'm inside, like for my interview with Jay, I had two screens going, and that's why it looked like I was looking up the whole time, because I was looking up the whole time. Anyway, yeah. Whenever summer comes and I'm not sitting outside, I'll have two screens. In any event, I appreciate you guys for being here, listening to all my Gen Xer problems. I always forget to show these, to show your comments while we're talking about them, and see the ones that are bad. Like, I'm just joking. But if there was a bad one, I don't have any bad commenters. If there was a bad commenter, I could just not show it. And then like Echo, I could star his comment. Echo, I'm glad you're here. All right, guys, I'm going to get out of here. You guys have a good day. Later.